Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome to Fantasy Forecast for Monday, January 9th, 2017. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful, wonderful start of your week, and thank you for joining part of your day with me here today. You're looking at the score from 2 days ago. I didn't do one yesterday. 309 on my regular cash entry for you guys, not enough to win, and even my GPP at 321 didn't win cash. It won some GPPs, but didn't win cash. The cash line was so much higher that day for just whatever strange reason that you needed 322 to cash. So, it is what it is. You move on. You can scroll through the stuff behind me if you want to and just pause the video. The GPP, my football, yesterday's, early, which got killed, the main slate, which was just fine. And sorry I didn't get that out to you guys. I didn't get back in time. It's just kind of how it worked. Let's just move on to today's cash game lineup. Now, we only have a 3-game slate in front of us today, so, oh my god, I don't even know where to start. So let's just go ahead and move into today. Now, at least one of your point guard positions is set. If you're not taking Westbrook today, especially with the news that Butler might be out, because you were going to plan that Butler was probably going to pick up the guarding assignment. Those of you that thought MCW was going to pick it up at first, need to rethink, the way basketball really works. The best defender is probably going to go on a guy like Russ. But if Butler's out, now all bets are off. So in that instance, there is no one to really defend Westbrook in any way, shape, or form. Even with Chicago's slower pace, Westbrook, no problem. Holiday, Knicks give up a ton of points against the point guard position. Derrick Rose is the most wonderful defender, and on top of that right now, he's just a little bit cold on top. So I like it. Cold streak continues. Go ahead and take Holiday today. Spend up a little. And there is a reason for that particularly. You spend up at a position, which is what I advocate, when you can't find anything good underneath. So you guys look at this field, if you can call it that, and tell me if this looks wonderful to you. Derrick Rose been cold. Williams against the Wolves. The Wolves against anyone from Denver or Dallas. The whole game is kind of a nix. I wouldn't even touch that game. Like they say in The Grinch, with a 39.5-foot pole. I don't want to go near that game. Even though it's a 3-game slate, maybe you should make it a 2-game slate, even though it's 3. My opinion. MCW, the pickings get slim fast. Rondo's getting no time. Frazier's getting no time. That they're still priced above minimum. I don't understand that either. Wake up, FanDuel. So, in a dearth of options, Holiday and Westbrook at your point guard today. At your shooting guard, if Butler is out, and the forecast is going to predict that he goes out today. Now, if he's not, you better be watching Basketball Monster, because this whole lineup should probably just be changed up pretty fast. I'll probably have to tweet an update if that's what it comes down to. I don't know if I'll get a video update out in time. If we get that news, I'll try. Otherwise, look on Twitter. You'll find my link in the description on this video. Wade, I think, is a lock today if Butler's out. The usage skyrockets. Levine, against Dallas. Matthews, against Knowles, no. Evans, limited to 20 minutes, basically. And the field just draws from there. If you're going to go cheap at the shooting guard, Hield and Lee. Buddy looks like he's going to pull 20 fantasy points. Lee's the same kind of thing. Lee's more consistent. Hield's up and down. He'll give you 6 or he'll give you 30. So, that's a perfect example of GPP pick, cash game pick. That's your cheap option, because otherwise I'm going to go depot. Now that there is no Jimmy Butler or anyone else really on him, the smart money before was that Butler wasn't going to be on him either, and I was thinking I was getting away with a little bit of pick. Now that he's going to be out, there's no getting away with it, but that's fine. I'd still take depot today. He's been very consistent, and on this slate, God, consistency is just so difficult to find. Okay, so those are your shooting guards. Small forward. Anthony's game time decision. Your highest price on the board is Carmelo Anthony on a fully loaded Knicks team. Porzingis is back. There's no one injured. Really? That usage rate has gone down from what he was doing. He's not going to put up 50-point fantasy games. Not like this. Not with the kind of usage he'll have getting. Kristaps still gets the ball. So, I don't like Melo at that price. He's got to come down to like 75. Still going to look for value, even on a 3-game slate. Barnes and Wiggins are both almost passes for me just because of the game itself. Now, I know that some of you guys are thinking, he's just passing the whole game. I can probably scry a little bit of value out. You probably can. Maybe Wiggins, maybe Barnes. They're both scoring-dependent people, and someone will have to score in these games. So whichever one picks it up, it's going to be a good pick for today. It might rise you to the top of a GPP. I just can't call it for a cash game because a cash game is more about getting a steady, guaranteed, predictable win. I'll take McDermott. Starters minutes in the absence of Butler and already running a full run in his last game too. Actually, I don't really know where Butler's minutes are go, except I'm predicting they probably fall a little bit on Taj Gibson and to a couple other guys that get bumped up a bit. I mean, you can spread 38 minutes, 12, 12, and 12. It's possible. But really, you can spread them around by doing like to everyone. Like all those guys are getting 31, 32 minutes can get bumped up to 37-ish or so. And you can spread out a guy's minutes. It is possible in basketball, and that's what coaches are paid for. McDermott looks good. Roberson looks good too. Basically, McDermott is not going to be any kind of defense whatsoever, and Roberson gets like 38 minutes in a game. He's just that guy that just kind of sits there. Now, normally I would not be wanting to play Roberson, but on a 3-game slate, do you have a lot of choices? Not really. So, like McDermott, I like Roberson, but I couldn't fit him in on my second spot for going cheap at small forward, so I went all the way to the bottom and I'm taking Cunningham. I needed the extra $300 to make everything work today, and I had no problem saying that. If you find a way to spend up to $300, well then, that's a good GPP pick. Davis at power forward, to me this is a no-brainer. The Knicks are horrible at centers, and while FanDuel lists him as a power forward, the multi-position listing on DraftKings is far better, PF/center. He plays the 5 slot usually. That's where and they just brought in Modi Jr. The last game to be his backup center, and so he played about 20 minutes in the game. I don't see him getting much more than that, but I mean, I think he's a really cheap pick on DraftKings at only 3,000 mini or something like that. Here at 3,500, without that extra half-point bonus for a made 3-pointer, I wouldn't be on Modi today. I think there's other cheap plays all across the board, and why are you going to take a power forward slot when you have Davis, and then you have a wealth of options beyond that today, which is kind of surprising. Porzingis probably sees a usage drop though with the whole team healthy, so we kind of want to see where that shakes out. I mean, he could be the man, but I think it's risky, so I wouldn't be going there for a cash game. Dieng, pass based on the game. Cantor doesn't get enough minute run for me. Now, he does a ton with his minute run, so you're going to be happy with 22 fantasy points today on a rough position, then maybe rostered, but I see a guy getting 22, 23 minutes of run, maybe 25 fantasy points. It's still under 5 times value. Trying to get to 5 times a day is one of the biggest issues, reliably. Mirotic at power forward, I like that pick. I'd be going with Mirotic today if you're going to drop down, no problem. Terrence Jones, possibly, maybe Jones, maybe Modi like I was talking about. And that's really about it. I wouldn't go anywhere else at power forward, not with how well the position is. And then you got Taj Gibson, who I selected already in the lineup. Taj is just, to me, where the extra minutes are probably going to fall. Like, I see him running over 30 minutes today. So at 4,700, I think that's an okay price. Finally, at your center position, you're rounding out at Noah. Now, he's been great. New Orleans, Davis is great on his offense, but he isn't really known for getting back on defense like he should. So I see that Noah will have a decent game yet again. And if Noah has a good game, I don't see any reason to take any risk at all spending up on Towns today. I think that's where you're going to find a bit of separation. A lot of people are going to say, I'm going to take Towns today, I'm going to take Towns today. Take Towns today, and he only gives you 40 points, and it's basically, a bit above 4 times value, and you're asking to get killed if there's another center this cheap that can give you 6 times value. So, Rolo maybe, but be looking cheap today at the center. I would not be spending up, and that's just me, and if you're looking for separation, go for it, but when we consider short slate lineups like this, variance is such an issue. If your lineup has one stinker on it, you're likely to lose. Also, if your lineup happens to miss someone that does really good, you're likely to lose. That's why variance is so hard on a short slate. On a big slate, it doesn't matter if other guys go out there and score. Because if your guys all score too, then you're fine. When there's not enough choices out there and it's so much easier to make a mistake, that's when you have problems. So I would recommend no matter what, play like today, and no matter how you do it. Okay, so that's pretty much it today. Let's go ahead and review your cash game lineup. Westbrook and Holiday at your point guard positions, Wade and Depot at your shooting guard position, McDermott and Cunningham at your small forward position, Davis and Gibson at your power forward position, and Noah for your center today. Guys, thank you so much for watching Fantasy Forecast. I really appreciate all of your support. Please like the video if you like today's lineup. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. It really helps support this free channel. Thank you guys all again so much for watching and spending part of your day with me today. I hope you go out there and go win some really big money today.